Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm your host, Attorney Lee Marvin, for today, which is basically the Independence Day edition. Today is July 7th, 2025, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard or Detroit time, and I'm here to answer your immigration related questions or to do the best I can to provide you information about immigration, how it relates to politics, how it relates to current policies. I'm here to go through and answer your questions. So if you have a question, please, depending on where you're joining us from, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, please put your questions in the comment section so I can get to them as I move through the program. Apologize, my voice is a little off today, but I'm sure you'll be able to understand me and hear me. So welcome everyone, and please post your questions as soon as you have them, okay? You don't have to wait for anything. Just go ahead and post and I'll get to them when I can, okay? First comment question comes from Plums. Plums, how are you doing today? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. What is our next option since they're canceling TPS for Honduras? So I would wait, okay? First of all, Plums, it depends. I'm assuming you're in the United States and you've had TPS for a while. What I've learned with this administration is to wait until it actually happens, because a lot of the time, politics jumps in there, right? Trump has his politics and it skews things to one side, and then everybody fights him and challenges him, and then it goes to the other side. So you're here in the United States with TPS. There's a lot of debate in Washington and really nationwide about the TPS program for a lot of these different countries. So I know that Trump has targeted TPS for a while, and all I can say is don't give up hope. Keep moving forward. And of course, with any of these processes, when you do have an immigrant sponsor, whether you're here on TPS or not, of course, move forward when you can. Okay, Plum. So if that's the case, and you have U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident family members, and you're able to move forward, then that's usually the best advice. Otherwise, I just say wait to see what happens. I don't have any intel right now that would help me understand what is really going to happen. So stand by. Of course, next week or the week after, if there's updated information, I will talk about it. So stand by. So thank you for your question, Plums. And Kat, good evening to you too. Thank you for joining. So, okay, let me, excuse me. Here's a question from Dowd Coleman. Good evening. Will VAWA slow down the investigation against a migrant if the other spouse filed a marriage fraud case against them with supporting documentation? So let me think about your question here. Will filing VAWA slow down an investigation for marriage fraud? I would say probably not. I mean, they're two independent processes. They both move down their paths, and whichever one occurs first that the government decides to take action on is usually how they move forward with these sorts of things. So if they suspect that VAWA is being filed in order to fight another type of case, and it's not true, well, that's not good. If it's true, if there's marriage fraud, I mean, or if there's abuse through, which is why you're doing VAWA, those things should be independent of one another, but it really depends on the facts of the case and what sort of violence situation there is. Okay, I will put it up here now, my link, because some of these things are way too complicated to get full information and a full answer to you guys. So I always like to put my link here. So if you need to chat, you can book a time to chat. So if that answer didn't satisfy you, please book a time to chat with me, okay? Let's see here. So here's an interesting question from Janelle. Hi, my father processing time is showing 4 weeks and mother 11 months. Is there a way they can come together because they live together? Um, I would say in short, no, I doubt it because again, everything, excuse me, it's a first in, first out process. So just because people are related doesn't matter. It matters when the petitions were filed. You can't shortcut it just because you have somebody holding the line for you from several years ago. The government only looks at when the petition was filed and when the waiting time starts. So, unfortunately, I don't think that that's going to help you out, okay? Um, so, let me go here. Um, okay. Okay, here's a question. This is another very timely question. So, Vala, hi, welcome to the show tonight. You're Iranian and you have a K-1 case. It's been received by the embassy. Your interview is scheduled in July. Um, Attend the university or reschedule knowing that the visa denial is likely. I would never cancel these things, okay? Politics, politics, politics. A lot can happen, both good and bad, in a series of weeks. I wouldn't cancel it because it probably has taken you, a year and a half to 2 years to even get to this point. I wouldn't cancel it because you suspect that something might happen. If it gets denied, you'll find out at the interview. I mean, if it's a huge travel distance for you to go to the embassy, I mean, maybe consider that, but I wouldn't cancel because it already takes so long. And everybody knows that politics changes on a minute to minute basis sometimes. So I wouldn't necessarily cancel. I wouldn't give up the fight. Okay. I would wait. I would see the process through if I were you. Okay. Um, okay. I'm looking through some of these questions. Um, so Bina Brown, hello to you too. Thank you for joining tonight. Okay, here's a question from Dahlia. Let me get some more water here. Good evening to you too. I'm a green card holder, and I filed an I-130 for my son in February of 23. He works and pays taxes. If ICE catches him, what are his options? Um, well, I can assume certain things from that question, which is your son entered without authorization, and or I guess these days he could have entered and now he's in an overstay status. And I-130 doesn't do anything, right? But provide a path moving forward. It's not a protection, right? So, Dahlia, if your son has no legal status at all, if he didn't enter legally, and if ICE catches him, there's nothing that can be done. It's helpful to have a pending I-130. He perhaps, if it's processed quickly enough, to be able to use it in deportation proceedings. But there's a lot to that question. Um, so I would say that very little can be done until he's got the ability to move forward with a green card interview. Okay. So a lot going on with all this stuff. A lot of details can change. One little detail can change a lot. So, um, okay. Okay. So Dowd, you called to schedule an appointment, and we called you today to reschedule. So thank you for your patience with that. We'll get you on the schedule. Um, as it turns out, I will be traveling internationally, so I will not be in the country, the United States, next week. So stand by for everyone on this broadcast. I got to figure out what time and if I need to change my broadcast. I don't think I'm going to have to, but Dowd's message tipped me off that I should probably tell you guys that. So stand by for that. We'll, as always, post things so you'll know about it. But that is next week. For the next couple weeks, I'm going to be out of the country. So thank you. Okay, so here's a question from Bina. Let's see. My green card of 10 years expires next year. Should I apply for citizenship or renew? I say pretty much 100% of the time. Any process that is better than what you currently have, you move forward as soon as you can. That would be the citizenship. Okay. Green card of 10 years expires next year. Let's stop the madness. Stop renewing. I know it's a great thing. It's an amazing thing. And renewing isn't really a big deal. But man, if you can qualify for citizenship and you never, ever have to think about immigration again, believe me, that's where you want to be. So I would say apply for citizenship. Depending on when you have to renew, it can take up to a year for citizenship to move forward. So depending on when you have to renew, you might have to renew while you're waiting for your citizenship too. And again, I had the link there. If you need to talk about this, if you need help with either one of those processes, I can definitely help you. So take a look at the link, and might as well do it here again. And then I'm going to get over to my friends in Instagram and then answer some of their questions. So let me do that now. And I know, thank you, Kat. Appreciate that very much. Always looking forward to going to South America, going to Colombia. So thank you for that. Okay, let me go over to Instagram. I had a notice that Instagram might have been compromised, but it looks like we have plenty of people on Instagram tonight. So I've got a bunch of people on here. No real questions, but let me post my link for someone to book a time to talk to me, should they choose to do so. But again, if you do have questions, please post it here. Okay, we have the summer queen is back in Ohio. Thank you for joining us in Ohio. I'm looking for your question here. Okay, I'm getting only part of your ongoing questions. I see that they added extra 5 months. I don't know what you're referring to. And then you say down here, is there a way I can expedite? So Summer Queen is back. I don't know what you're talking about. So either type more into your question there, or use that link to talk to me directly and book a time to talk directly to me. Excuse me. Here's a question from. It's too hard to pronounce. Sorry about that. But I'm in an F1 status. Should I maintain F1 after filing the 485 after my priority date is current? So again, this is similar to a question I had a little while ago. Any immigration process that can be replaced with something better, you do. The opposite can also apply, meaning if your old process is one that you're looking to replace by a new process, like an F1 student you want to replace with a green card, that's great, but don't do it too soon, okay? If you do it too soon, then you're out of status, and this administration comes down you like a ton of bricks, okay? So maintain your F1 status, absolutely, because you do not want to be out of status for even a day. It's nothing that I would ever recommend, okay? So let me switch over here real quick. Okay. So here's a question. Would like to ask, I was scheduled for an interview for my green card. Also, I got a mail today that my wife, sponsor, to come for her biometrics with a letter saying the Adam Walsh Act 2006. Okay, sir, this is kind of more of a delicate question. Well, I don't really see a question in there anyway. So I would say that a conversation, a private conversation, would be very appropriate. If immigration for something like that is asking for your spouse to go in for something, it's not very common. But given the Adam Walsh Act, they're not taking any chances and they're trying to protect her by getting the whole story. Okay. Again, the link that I posted above is just a few links above yours. I would encourage you to book a time to talk to me more directly so I can more readily answer your questions. Okay. All right. So let me go back over to my friends on Facebook and Instagram. So let's see where I left off here. Um, okay. For good measure, I'm just going to post these links because I keep talking about it. And sometimes it's easier for you to see it when I post it rather than looking through all the comments. So, okay. Let's see here. Ta. Okay, I answer that. And Janelle, you're welcome. My pleasure. As I like to say in Spanish, el gusto es mío, right? Pleasure is mine. Okay, I'm reading this here. So this is a question that's a bit complicated for Damien. It's been 5 months, still no decision on your work permit, category C9, concurrently at the NBC field office. What can I do in this situation? It's past the 3 month time. To be honest with you, I don't know what the C9 category is. I would have to look it up, which means this is probably something that you and I need to talk more directly about. Usually, if it's past the processing time, you can go on to the website and you can submit an inquiry on the uscis.gov website. That might be the best option for you to ask the government what's going on. Why is it beyond the processing time? You can always call immigration. I know it's not pleasant, right? It's a pain, to be honest with you, to have to call and wait and wait and wait. But that is a viable option, Damien. Okay. Again, that link is posted up there if you need to talk more directly to me. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Another question about maintaining F1 status. So, should I maintain F1 after filing a I-45? If you weren't on here when I answered that question before, 100%. Absolutely. Never let anything lapse unless it's replaced by something else, preferably something better, like green card, 485. Do not ever count on the government doing what they're supposed to do when they say they're supposed to do it and letting yourself go out of status, because that's a bad situation. Okay. So pretty easy answer. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have? Okay. Okay. So some of these questions seem to be a bit incomplete. Like this one here. Thiago, any news about 601A? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. You could go to the uscis.gov. Have I heard anything about 601As? I mean, I'm constantly looking at processing times for my clients, but I haven't heard any big news. If I do, I probably will do a video and post it on YouTube, which you're no stranger to because that's how you're joining us today. So I don't have anything for you for today. So I will look at it. And if there's something, I will either talk about it next week or I'll record a short video. So thank you for the question. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Uh, so let me digest this a bit. Guti me. I received my biometrics appointment after 11 months of submitting my U visa case. That's a long time, which tells me that you probably did it yourself. How long after will I hear any news, or how long do I have to wait? For me and my clients, sure ain't 11 months. Um, Biometrics is just a bump in the road of your process. Um, U visa cases take years. Okay, so 11 months is just to get biometrics. I wouldn't suspect that you would have any updates anytime soon. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes several years, 3 years, for anything to come of it. Okay. Um, and again, I'm sorry if you have more specific or direct questions. I might have to analyze your situation more fully, which means the link that I have posted might be the best way to do that. Um, excuse me, folks. Okay, let's see here. Lots of great questions tonight, lots of participation, and I really sincerely appreciate it. Can't always get to all the questions. Some of them are questions of people that I might need to talk to. Let me switch over to Instagram quick. See what I've missed over there. Okay. Uh, do, 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 do. Okay. Okay. Hi, Attorney Lee. Hello. Will USCIS renew my DACA after it was approved for military parole in place? My DACA will expire September of 25. Thank you for helping us with military parole in place. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Um, so USCIS will always approve a process that you're eligible for. Um, and again, this is kind of the theme tonight: is that you stay in status and you apply for stuff, even if you think you in the short term you might not need it. This is an example. If you renew your DACA and you're eligible for DACA, it doesn't matter if you get military parole in place. It matters that you maintain DACA, okay? Because military parole in place is very helpful in certain circumstances. For example, if you're moving forward immediately for your green card process, then you have a better process that you're venturing toward. But military parole in place isn't a process really itself. It's just a huge help for green card processes. So absolutely maintain your DACA if you're still eligible. Do not let that go. I wouldn't let that go until you get an approved legal permanent resident green card in your hand. Okay. So thank you for that question and for joining tonight. Okay. Okay. So let me go back over here. Small drink of water. Okay. Mr. Grinch is joining us. Hola, señor. ¿Usted también? Need your assistance on a delicate matter. Call the office. So I think so, sir. That link, I'll post it again. This is for Mr. Grinch. Um, that link is the best way to get in touch with me. Phone calls are great, but you just talk to my staff, and then they basically help you with that link to schedule that time. Especially with me going to South America in the next couple weeks, that link is your best option. So thank you again, very loyal friend and follower on our Monday live. So thank you, Mr. C, Mr. Grinch, Mr. Caddy. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Daoud, you're asking before your consultation, can you send the email I sent to USCIS and ICE, along with a follow-up email that I would like to send to both agencies after a consultation? So yeah, if in preparation for our consultation together. If you want to send stuff, please do. I would gladly look at it, evaluate it in the context of what our conversation is going to be like, and then probably give you pointers on how to move forward from there. So yes, please do send that. And I thank you for thinking of that. Okay. It makes things easier. Okay. Okay. So Plums again is asking a question. If you're married to a green card holder, what is the visa processing time today, and where can I find out the information understanding properly? Plums, thank you for asking that question. My YouTube channel. I regularly record videos of these processing times. So check there first, okay? There's different times from me recording to us posting, but I think something should be on there that's current. So check it out. If it's not, you could always reach out and I can help you more directly, or you just keep searching. I regularly do these things for your use, okay? Um, so, um, so thank you. So it looks like that's the end of my questions. Let me go over to Instagram real quickly, and then I have some from earlier that I wanted to get to if I could. Okay, so lots of friends from Instagram, and I'm glad to see that it wasn't down tonight like they reported that it might have been. So that's very promising. Okay, let me go over here. These are questions that were asked earlier from my YouTube channel. Okay, so some of my videos. Let's see here. This was a question. Let me see here, folks. This is a video I did. Do I need to bring my spouse to my U.S. citizenship interview? Okay. Question. Attorney Marvin, I'm trying to get my citizenship and my spouse is a citizen, so I can do the 3 years, which is great. But I got here in April of 2021, went back to the Philippines in 24 for a month, and then came back here to the U.S. in September. Can I still apply for citizenship, or does that reset my state here in the U.S.? That is a really good question. So, casual travel for a legal permanent resident is completely acceptable, and it does not reset the clock. You know, it does reset the clock when somebody overstays outside the country. That resets the clock. So in this particular question, it was just a month. Okay, anything over 6 months is the danger zone. If you're anything under that, you can travel, and it does not reset or create any problems with your eligibility to move forward with citizenship naturalization. Okay, so I really wanted to get to that question, and I'm glad I was able to. Okay, so Pamela asks, how is the K-1 visa processing times affected by Trump's sudden change on other policies? Thanks in advance. So Pamela, great question. It's a great question, but the answer is a bit murky, like a lot of things with immigration these days because of the administration. Because there's protocols how you move forward or how the government's supposed to move forward, and it's not supposed to be affected that quickly by political changes. I haven't seen anything from Trump saying that they are going to make any changes to the K-1 visa process. So other types of changes in politics will have no effect on the K-1 visa. Any announcement that they're going to change the K-1, yeah, that'll have an impact. I haven't seen anything about that yet. If there is anything out there, and I just haven't noticed, I will see it and I will probably do a video about it. But politics affects everything and nothing, right? It really depends what it is. It depends if it's just, a lot of chest pounding, politicking, or if it really is sending a message that something is going to change, okay? So, D. Coleman, okay, I can't post this, but you're asking if you can send psychological assessment even though it's HIPAA law protected. I wouldn't send anything that's not yours. I wouldn't send anything, right? So that if it's protected, if you're not the person who's sending records about yourself, don't send it to anyone. Definitely don't send it to me, okay? But again, this is a very complicated situation, and I think probably the most important thing would be to have that consultation with me. And in that consultation, we can talk about these things. And if I need more information, we can talk at that point in time. So, that being said, I'm going to give my voice a rest, seeing how it's after our time. And I think I got a lot of your question answered. So thank you, everyone who's joined again. I'm so happy to see people. Kat, thank you kindly. You said very nice things to me tonight, and I like nice people. So thank you for that. I will have a great trip. Thank you very much. I've been looking to it for a while. So thank you, everyone. See you next week, unless you're told otherwise. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Detroit time for Immigration Live with Lee. Have a wonderful week. And as I always say, stay informed and stay safe.